Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to build a Scandinavian turf roof or sod roof house thanks to the new update that make us able to place herbs and plants on top of the roofs. The update also came with glass wallpaper, which is also great. So maybe I will do a greenhouse next, or maybe not. We'll see. But so for today, I'm going to tell you a bit more about what is a sod roof or a turf roof. So basically, it is something that is quite common in Scandinavia. It's basically a grass roof. It dates back to prehistory, and it was also very common during the Viking area and the Middle Ages, and it was still pretty common until beginning of the 18th century, where tiled roof became much more common. But if you go up there in Scandinavia, you might still find some of these houses, even some churches. So you might wonder, why did these people build these houses with herb and sod on top of it? Well, it was because it was cost efficient, so it cost nothing. Now you might wonder, why did I think of doing that? Well, the answer is quite simple, because when I saw this update, it immediately made me think of a memory that I had when I was a kid, because I was lucky enough to travel quite a bit around Europe thanks to my parents' job. And I'm pretty sure that when I was 4 years old, when I went to Scandinavia, so I went to Norway, Sweden, and Finland, I'm pretty sure that I remember seeing a house like that. At least a red house with roof on top of it. I'm pretty sure that I must have a picture somewhere, a photo, but I'm not sure. I actually have no idea of where it could be located in. Probably in some storage somewhere. So yeah, this is a bit of the backstory. Now you might wonder about the actual build. So as you saw, I used the house ranch siding in red for the exterior. The windows are BASEGAME, and then I did have a bit of a struggle with the roof, because you can't place herb when there is an intersection, so you can only put it in a straight roof, so you can have two roof glide, which is why I had to make two of them short and not go through the main roof, because otherwise I couldn't place grass everywhere, which then will make me also build lost its purpose. I did try to hide that you could see the back of the smallest rose. I think I did a pretty good job. If you don't focus too much on it, you don't see that it's three different roofs. You can, well, say the illusion can work. So for the inside, at first I wanted to use the cottage living kitchen in the darkest green, but then I changed my mind because I just couldn't settle on something nice. So I ended up just trying a bunch of different kitchen. I also tried, I think it's called the kitchen or something. It's kit, a country kitchen, something like that. But it didn't work out either, so I ended up settling on the cottage living one, but in the lighter green instead. So I combined the cottage living one and the base game one. I'm not sure which one is it, but you can easily find it because I think seems I'm making an effort because the two different kitchen sets match. So we have the same green, and same for the oven. The oven that I used, I think it's from For Rent. It's also a very similar kind of green, so I was very lucky with that. So yeah, I also used the kitchen clutter sink because I just love it, and then I did use a lot of the other items in the kitchen clutter kit, which you will see me bring out soon enough. By the way, guys, what do you think of the new expansion pack? As I'm filming this, we are able to see some streamers do the early access. So some people already have their idea of the game. Personally, I think that it's quite interesting. I like some part of town. I like the fairy world one and the city one. I don't really like the middle one where it's kind of like cottage living, because it just feels very empty. So I'm not very much of a fan of this neighborhood, but I love the rabbit hole. I think that it brings something to the game personally, and I will probably be using them because it adds some new activities, some new stuff that your sims can do, which is always a good thing in my book. For the buy catalog, I actually do like it. I mean, it's very coded, but you know, that's what you would expect from a fairy expansion pack. So yep, that's great. Also, I feel like they did way better with the fairies than they did with mermaids, which Island Living definitely need a refresh. But you know, that seems like a conversation that EA doesn't want to have, because I remember when they said back, I think it was in 2020 or something like that, back in days, that they would refresh the oldest pack, and then they refreshed Spa Day, which was actually quite good once they refreshed it, and then nothing. So yes, it was a bit disappointed, in my opinion, but you know, what can you ask from EA? So, for the kitchen, as you saw, I had it 3 tile counters on the opposite wall, simply because I didn't have any space left for my sim to cook. So I needed to give her a free counter. So I did it on the other wall, and I think it ended up being quite nice. Also, for the dining table, I used Eco Lifestyle with the chairs from Business and Hobbies. So for this house, you can see that I'm going with kind of a country vibe, not a Far West one. By country, I mean a country. I mean, sort of. I'm mixing some sort of not ancient but like old furnitures with some modern aspects. But yeah, and also there is a lot of green because I wanted to bring in um, in the house the exterior, so I wanted to be reminded of the grass that we have on the roof of the house and of the surrounding of the house. So yeah, this is why I picked a lot of green for this house. Soon you will see me struggle a lot with the bathroom placement because I wanted to do a separate toilet room because it's quite common in Europe. We do tend to have separate toilet room from our bathrooms. So I wanted to do that, but then my bathroom was too small, so I just had to move some walls and stuff, and it ended up being alright. For the bathroom, I used a lot of the newest pack, the Slicky Bathroom one, I think it is, mixed with some aspect of cottage living to remind us of the rest of the house because it can't be too modern, otherwise it will just feel very strange, I think. So for the bedroom, I used a lot of the Book Nook kit because I think that as an author, the person who lives here would have a lot of books scattered everywhere, which is why you'll see me add everything that is a book in nearly every room that I could. So now I'm going to tell you a bit more about the person who lives here. So to me, it's a woman in a late 20s, maybe early 30, who is an author. So she writes book. She's quite good at it. She's quite famous. So you will see that in her bedroom, I put some painting, not painting, but like canvas on top of the desk, and I want it to be kind of like the covers of best-selling books, and I think it's quite nice attention. So yeah, why does she live in this house in the middle of nowhere? Well, simply because she is socially awkward and she likes to preserve her peace and be by herself, because it really sparks her inspiration to write books. She doesn't have a significant other in her life. She used to be married, but she got married very young and it just wasn't the man for her, so she divorced quite early too, which is why she now focuses entirely on her career and not on social interactions. She moved from San Sequoia to this nice little cottage. So she moved here after a breakup. Not a breakup, a divorce. Sorry. Alright, you guys, I think this is the end of the audio from me, so I will let you enjoy the rest of the building in peace. If you have any question, any recommendation, anything of that sort, please leave it in the comment section down below, and I will make sure to get back to you as quick as possible. In the meantime, if you like this video and if you want to see more from me, please don't forget to subscribe, like the video and stuff. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.